Howdy Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here, and today we're back with another rant video. If you've seen the title, then you know what this is about. So without wasting time, let's jump into it. So, live action remakes. You know them and you loathe them. Popularized by Disney, they are mostly known for being the real versions of animated movies that came out years ago, retold in a different format. Over a decade ago, they were seen as this new creative way to tell already popular stories, and now they are seen as nothing more than cash cows and money laundering schemes. And I fully agree with the audience-wide sentiments on this one. I hate these things with passion, and I want to talk about how and why they will not get better or change going forward. I mean, the obvious answer is money. People still give these things ridiculous amounts of money, but I kind of want to dive a bit deeper on my perspective of things. Don't get me wrong, I used to be wide-eyed and naive like you guys, believing that the big corporations would learn from their mistakes and make better live-action remakes going forward. However, time has proven me wrong, and I want to make this video as a buffer for you guys to avoid the pain that is gonna come soon, because I've experienced it before. And don't worry, I'll try to source from not just Disney to show that this is an industry-wide problem. Firstly, I think it's become clear that remakes have become easy money printing machines for these companies and they're low risk to make. They have become easy to invest in because they're easy to make a profit from, and in recent years, nostalgia has proven especially easy to milk. Before, we had things like Alice in Wonderland that tried to be different. But now we have The Lion King and Aladdin, which are basically scene-for-scene retellings of the animations. And this is the main reason why I hate live-action remakes. Not only are they lazy and wastes of time, but they're straight up insulting to what it should mean to be an artist, and that is to be genuine, experiment, learn, and grow. Seriously, aside from the 2016 Jungle Book, I can't think of a single live-action remake I've watched that's even come close to matching the original animation. Like, if you're going to regurgitate the same stuff to me, but real life and with better CGI, that's not a movie, that's a tech demo.
The reason why the first film didn't treat the technology as its selling point is because it wasn't the focus of the film. It was there to help communicate the emotions. It was there to help complement the story and the characters. It is not there to brag about how realistic it looks. The stampede scene in this film is one of the most beautiful and impressive animation sequences of all time. But The Lion King 2019 is an upgrade. It fixes the original. Don't you? This film has fur glow. The original film doesn't have fur glow.
Why can't we get a remake that tells a different story? Or if it's based on a book or other media, why don't we get a different adaptation of the book instead of retelling the same story we got from the animation? Oh, that's right, it's too niche and not profitable enough. Don't get me wrong, I like the Jungle Book remake, and its existence is warranted considering that the original movie was almost 50 years old at the time of the remake's release. But if you compare how Disney retold the story versus how Netflix did, it's like night and day. And before I continue on with the rant, I obviously am missing the giant elephant in the room in that these companies only make remakes to appeal to the quote-unquote adults. For those who don't know, there's this long-running thing in the animation community. I don't know how true it is considering, no company has outright said it, but like it's kind of obvious if you just look at it from the outside looking in, where they make these remakes to appeal to an older audience, right? They make it live action so that older people and grown-ups can watch the movie without feeling like they're watching a cartoon, without feeling ashamed for watching a cartoon. Because yes, even in the year of our Lord of 2025, we still have adults who feel ashamed that they would watch a cartoon or an animation, which is ridiculous to me, but that's the way the world works. So these remakes are made to get as many audiences as possible, not just the kids, but the grown-ups who feel like they're too good for cartoons. You guys already know my thoughts and feelings on this. I'm basically an animation-heavy channel. I will always glaze animation till the world ends. So I'm always on the animation side, and I always believe animation is the most important way you can tell a story in media. With that said, it is just sad how all these companies, especially Disney, a company that was built on animation, will just like go off the rails and basically appease to those people who don't care about animation. As said, it's at the end of the day, they're a business. They don't care about the art, they care about the money it brings in. So it's a sad reality we face. I'm not gonna talk about it much because as I said, it requires a bit more research. I'm just talking about personally my own feelings here, so we're only gonna be dealing with that and what I've seen. But yeah, I figured I'd mention it, but if you're watching this video, odds are you already are an animation fan, so I don't need to bring that up for you. It's just an elephant in the room I need to clear. So yeah, people still don't think animation is cool, people still don't like cartoons, and as such, we're just gonna, that's why these companies make these live action remakes to appeal to everyone. As said, it's a whole other thing. We don't need to get into that now. We're just focusing on the other stuff that's less talked about. So going back to the argument, but I'll hear you, yes, you, audience member Bradley, say, what about the Mufasa movie? That's different. And to that I will say, yes, you're right. As much as I hate it and have gone into depth as to why I hate it in my review, link in the card obviously, I do give it props because it's telling a story that hasn't been put to screen before in Lion King history. However, that doesn't sit right with me, as this whole thing seems to be insinuating that we'll only potentially get new and different stories if we give the lazy one money, which I don't subscribe to at all. This of course brings me to the How to Train Your Dragon remake. I've seen a lot of fans say that Dean DeBlois, I screwed up his name. I just legit forgot what his name is pronounced, like Dean DeBlois. I'm just gonna call him Dean DeBlois, forgive me. And anyway, I've seen a lot of fans say that Dean DeBlois, the director of the original 2010 movie and the remake, is going to treat the live action movie with respect since he made the first movie, and that he would never hurt his baby, and they'll even bring up interviews where he says that he doesn't want to do what Disney's doing. However, what I think everyone is forgetting is that we've been through this before, and we were all made fools because of it. I vividly remember back in 2019 when dozens of articles were being published about Jon Favreau not wanting to make The Lion King the exact same product as the 1994 movie, which I personally find funny because he successfully made Jungle Book different enough from the 67 movie. Anyway, I believed him, and what did we get? An exact shot-for-shot retelling of the 1994 movie. Thank God I did not pay to see it in theaters. The same thing is happening before us right now. Dean said he never wanted to do a remake, yet what has he done? A remake. He says it's going to be different, but from what we've seen so far, it's literally a shot-for-shot retelling of the 2010 movie that serves just to advertise a Universal theme park, yet the Dreamworks fans still eat it up. Guys, this may be just a hunch, but I think the corporations that want your money will say and do anything to get it. And this leads me to my next issue. These remakes are getting shorter and shorter. Before, they were being made to milk nostalgia and tell the older stories differently. But ever since Disney has been making bank, everyone's just forgoing everything, just trying to get a piece of the pie. The original How to Train Your Dragon will be 15 by the time the remake comes out. The last movie we got was 5 years ago, and the last TV show set in that universe ended last year. Where's the nostalgia or technical improvement excuse they've been using? The Moana 2 remake comes out in a year or two, despite the original being 8 years old and the sequel still in theaters last time I checked. Why? What new audience are you trying to reach? At this point, these studios are just saying the quiet part out loud, and people are still watching and giving them money to do this. Now, you might think that audiences would soon wise up and stop funding these remakes, but A, this has been going on for over a decade. What makes you think they'll change now? And B, nope, they still want this. I've seen people actually defend the How to Train Your Dragon remake by saying that it's for the 5 to 6 year olds who missed the OG trilogy. How? Honestly, how? When I was 6, I was watching the 90s Disney movies and some of their older classics. A movie being 10 years old doesn't mean it's outdated. Generations usually have a 20 to 25 year difference between them. A remake coming out in that time is not enough to milk nostalgia. Don't let them lie to you. And if you think that it couldn't get worse, another franchise that's close to my heart, Ninjago, also got a live action movie announced. A big Ninjago YouTube channel made a poll asking what the fans would like to see from the movie, and most of them picked a retelling of the original show's pilot episodes. Now, I get that this was one channel and the internet is big, so audiences may vary, but the fact that an exact telling of the pilots won the vote makes me wonder why they just don't go watch the pilots again. Now, I find the concept of a live-action Ninjago movie dumb as hell. I even made a short making fun of Universal a couple months back. I could make hour-long rants on this idea. However, since nothing is confirmed yet and we don't even have a trailer, I'll hold on to my thoughts until we get something concrete before making a stink over it. Back to talking about remakes in general, the continuous copy-pasting Hollywood does infuriates me more, cause with all of these live-action remakes that retell the animation and try to be the new definitive version of the story, it just continues to hype up the false idea that animation is a lesser medium solely for kids and that some projects should be honored to get the live-action treatment. I've met actual people who refuse to watch the animated stuff, but watch the live-action stuff and think it's lackluster or good without a point of reference, and that's just depressing to me. Of course, there are some exceptions to the rule, like Alice in Wonderland, Avatar, and heck, even Peter Pan and Wendy come to mind. I don't think they're necessarily good, mind you, but they are different enough to warrant existing. However, it's clear which ones are most popular and profitable. But hey, I'm clearly in the minority. I mean, just look at the box office of 2019 alone. Both Aladdin and the Lion King remakes got over $1 billion. So maybe I'm in the wrong or missing something, or maybe the general audience is just that much of a lost cause to me. I don't know. So yeah, long story short, I think live action remakes are getting worse, and they will continue to stick around for the foreseeable future because they just keep making money. And at this point, to retain any sliver of hope for these things and the artistic integrity that goes into them, I'm not asking for them to be good, just to be different. But for me personally, I'm just tired, man. I am so tired of seeing the same movie over and over again, telling the same story over and over again, making the same review over and over again, getting mad at them. Because yeah, surprise, surprise guys, Mufasa isn't the only live action remake I made a video on, and I'm tired of talking about how these movies copy the same plot, copy the same story, and do it ad nauseum, and yet still gain ridiculous amounts of money. I'm fed up with these things. And yeah, that's gonna do it for my rant today. Sorry if it doesn't have a happy or hopeful ending, but after a decade of this abusive relationship with the live action remakes, I'm officially tired and will distance myself from them going forward. Despite all the jokes I made about the Little Mermaid remake that came out in 2023, I haven't seen it and don't plan to. I also won't watch Snow White, Lilo and Stitch, Moana, or whatever other remake Disney decides to churn out unless they are different enough for me to at least make a criticism or point on. I will give the How to Train Your Dragon remake a shot since it's not Disney, and I'll probably have something to say about it when it does come out. And yeah, I'll rip the Netflix live action Avatar new one when season 2 comes out as well. But as of now, I'm jaded and tired, and I'm fed up of the same system, and I'm fed up of the same process over and over again. If a good live action remake comes out, I'll be genuinely surprised and will make a video praising it. Mark my words on that one. But as of now, that's very unlikely to happen. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be all from me today. Huge shout outs to other YouTubers, Razorblade, Your Movie Sucks, and Captain Midnight. I kinda stole your footage. Don't worry, I'll link you down in the description below, even though you have no freaking clue who I am. But as for my audience, tell me, what do you think about live action remakes? Do you enjoy them? Do you not enjoy them? Are you tired of seeing the same story told over and over in a different flavor? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments and I'll be sure to read them, and let's have a conversation as always. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Be sure to like if you like, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell to be part of the team, leave a comment down below, slap a cow, and with that, I will see you in another universe. Goodbye, my Rangers.